are going to be making a mermaid tail for under $25 that's swimmable. I found out the key secret to making this the easiest way possible. I've searched all over the internet and I haven't been able to find any way that's as easy as this. So stay tuned because you guys are gonna love it and it's gonna be so easy. The first thing that I have here is a poster board and a welcome mat. And this welcome mat I actually got for $5. I also have a poster board. This you can get for like 50 cents or cheaper. So we're about at $5.50. And then the shoes were also $10.50 so far for the monofin. So in order to get the middle of the fin, I'm just gonna fold the paper in half. And the first thing we're gonna do is make our pattern. Now that it's folded in half, that's how I know where the shoes are gonna go. So I'm gonna make sure the shoes are all the way to the edge of the paper. If you stand up, you'll notice. So I have my feet together and I noticed that if I put the shoes all the way together touching, then my ankles bump each other. It's not comfortable. So what I want to do is just move them out a tiny bit so that I still have my knees together and still have my legs together pretty much, but just that my ankles aren't bumping and my feet aren't bumping each other and hurting each other. Because of that, I'm not sticking them close together. I'm just going to pull them out 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And I'm also lining them up with the edge of the paper and making sure that they're perfectly in the middle of what is going to be our fin. So just so I don't have to leave the shoes on, I'm going to actually take them off and I have just traced them on to the paper. So these two spots right here where the shoes go to the edge of the paper is where we're going to start our pattern. If you've noticed, I've cut this paper out to the exact size of the welcome mat that I have underneath it. Make a line from the back of the heel up to the corner. With it folded in half, that's what's gonna make it perfectly even on both sides. Ooh, I like it. That's pretty. So now the next thing that we need to do is cut it out. I actually think I'm gonna use this side and use a black marker to trace out the fin and then just cut it. Ta-da! Okay, let's cut it out. For this part, just make sure to have a pair of pretty heavy-duty scissors. Ta-da! Imagine it's swimming. It's either this or a giant mustache. I've looked at so many different ways to make a fin and I've done my research and this was the very best glue for this project. This is called Barge Original All-Purpose Cement and it's in the blue tube that's a 2-ounce amount. It costs around $5. I will put a link in the description below where you can buy this exact glue. You should only need 1 tube for the whole project. You want to make sure to use it in like a really well ventilated area because it's kind of high powered, make you a high scent. So we're gonna go outside to use this and glue down our shoes. Oh look, I just found Ariel. I'm just gonna conveniently place her right here. It's so perfect. I promise it was out here before I even got here. I want the bottoms of the shoes to be lined up perfectly with the back of the fin. And I kind of curved this fin right here so that the shoe can go into the corner. And then the other thing is I'm just making sure that they're lined up with the middle of the fin and that they're spaced apart. So that's probably actually about 1 inch. Now I'm going to use a piece of chalk just to draw around the outside edge of the shoes. And this is so that when I have my glue on them, it will be easy to find exactly where I want them to be placement-wise on the mat. At the tips of the shoes, because they kind of naturally come up, I'm just pushing them down so that they will be also in the right place. So now we've got our Barge All-Purpose Cement. Let's put it on. This is going to take about 15 minutes. I'm going to put it on the bottom of both of the shoes and where they're going to be attached to the mat. Also, don't get it on your skin because it's very sticky. So make sure that all of the surfaces are completely clean. This is super, super sticky and super strong, and so I don't want to get any on me because it will be very hard to get off. Making sure to cover every surface of the bottom of the shoe that is going to be touching the mat. Now that both of the bottoms of the shoes are done, I'm just going to start spreading it onto the mat. Now all I need to do is let it dry for about 15 minutes and then we can put it together. One of the greatest things about this mermaid tail is that you can use any shoe size. Like, it doesn't have to be small or big or whatever. Also, something that's really, really great about this mat is that it's neutrally buoyant. So when you put it in the water, it doesn't float up to the top, make your head go underneath the water, or it doesn't sink down to the bottom and drag you down to the bottom either. It's been sitting here for 15 minutes and now all I need to do is make sure I get them in the right spot. putting them on. Once I have these on, we need to put something heavy on them so that they can be pushed down into the right place. Okay, let's go get something heavy on them right now. All right. Okay. I have a Dutch oven here and another Dutch oven here and a board that's just flat that I can put on top of it. You want to leave it out there to dry for about 2 or 3 days. Just give it plenty of time to dry, and then once I pulled the heavy stuff off the top, it glued it down really, really well. You can see it's not going anywhere. It's like, it's super strong. So here's a spot right here where if you tug on it a little bit, it kind of gives and you can see that it's coming off a little bit. Just go ahead and use a little bit of super glue just to tie up any little loose spots that didn't quite take. But other than that, it looks great. Now it's time to sew our fin. I finally have my material. Look at how beautiful it is, all sparkly and shiny. And this is actually mermaid fin material. Like, this is specifically for making mermaid fins. And I found this at Joann's Fabric. You can get it at Joann's Fabric. I think it was like almost $16 a yard or something like that, but they take like half off coupons and all sorts of coupons. So I ended up getting about 1.5 yards, and it ended up being like around $15 for the 1.5 yards with a like 50% off coupon. And that's specifically for the mermaid tail material. I got a little bit extra. I figure I'll need about 1 yard for the actual mermaid fin, and then I got 1.5 yards just in case. And so if I want to make like a little top that matches it, I can. Ooh, parachute! Okay, now that we have the material, make sure to keep this pattern for the fin because this is where you're going to use it. I want this fold to also go along with the fold of the material. I'm going to try and use the least amount possible here. And fold the material over. I'm just going to cut out one side at a time. So I have this fin folded in half, and I also have the material folded in half. I'm going to do the front half and the back half separately, and then we'll be stitching it up the sides. So I made sure to fold my material so that the black part is actually the part that I'm drawing on to draw out my pattern on. So I have just a silver marker, and I've got my fin folded in half on the fold of the material. I want to give myself enough seam allowance that it will be able to go around the whole edge and not be too tight around the edge. So now I'm lining it up, trace around the outside of the fin. Now this is where I don't want to bring it further than this corner right here, because I want to make sure that we still have the space needed on the ankles to go all the way up to the rest of the fin. So now that the fin part is drawn out, I actually need the measurement from her waist, like belly button to floor. And that is how long we're gonna make the rest of the fin. The girl that I'm making it for is 12 years old, and her waist to floor measurement is 34.5 inches. So we're gonna have that measured out here. So 34.5 inches, and I'm actually just gonna drag it out all the way to the top because we wanna make sure to have some space to fold down for the elastic. Her measurement around her waist is 24.5 inches. We want to divide that by 4, so I'm going to put it at just a little bit over 6 inches. Mark that right here. Here's her height measurement. We're going to actually put that at 6 inches out, which is 1/4 of her waist. So I'm going to make it go straight down for 1 foot, and then we're going to connect the dots and make it connect to the monofin, just to give enough room for her hips. Okay, so this is our pattern. So there's one more thing that I should probably mention, and that is that we need to make sure to cut about 1 inch away from the actual lines because we need seam allowance. So the lines that we drew here are actually where you're going to sew, not where you're going to cut. Now all we need to do is cut this out, then make a second one that's exactly the same, sew them together, and we've got our fin. So now that I've got that first piece cut out, I'm just going to cut out a second piece exactly the same as the first. Now I'm placing both sides together, scales inward, and pinning them together. Now it's just time to stitch it together. Because I don't have a serger, I'm actually going to go along the outside and stitch it, double stitch it, maybe even triple stitch it, just because I want it to stay together really well. I'm actually using a zigzag stitch, size 2. I'm also triple stitching it and using a ballpoint needle. And this material is made out of Lycra. Ta-da! It's all sewn, triple stitched over the entire side. Now I'm going to put it right side out, and we're going to see if the fin fits in there. Have I mentioned this is the first time I've ever made this? I think I'm doing pretty dang good. I'm starting to get excited. I'm gonna fold this thing up as tight as I can get it so that I can fit it into the very bottom. It's working. It's working. Oh. I'm getting too excited. This is awesome. Okay, this is awesome. This is awesome. Wow, it's magical. This is like my dream as a child. Why did I not have this as a child? Hopefully your child can have this as a child. This is awesome. I'm so happy with the way this is turning out. So you kind of have to work it in there a little bit, but mermaid tail. I think it's time to go try it on our little mermaid. Okay, we are here at our friends, the Tannerites, another YouTube family, and we're gonna try this on her daughter, and hopefully it will look really good, and hopefully it will fit, and I haven't even tried it on her yet, so I'm so excited. Let's do it. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, we're gonna have you try it on now. They actually fit me too, so I was able to try it on. It didn't fit everything else, but oh my goodness,
it looks so good.
So awesome.
I love it. Something that you could do to the top is add a little bit of elastic. It's like $1, so not too expensive. But we made it pretty skin tight, and I think it's perfect.
That looks so cool. There you go. That is awesome. Good world.
We should go swim in it now. Danielle from the Tannerites. She has helped so much in being able to be an amazing mermaid model for us. So you can check out their channel in the link below. So click over here to check out my other awesome summer video, the water blob, and click over here to follow me every day on the beach house. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we will see you guys next time.